Welcome to the final 5 days of your freshman year. And as we begin those final 5 days, I just wanted to give you a rundown with some information about where we're at this point, where things are headed over these next few days, and how we're going to wrap up what we have left of the year. Thank you for turning in your Raisin 2020 research paper. Those were due Monday night, so hopefully you've got that done. If you haven't got it done or haven't got it turned into Google Classroom, please do that as soon as possible. I will take them. I will accept them anytime this week, so you have until Friday if you need it. But please, the sooner the better, because grades do close on Friday, so I won't be able to take it after that, and I need to get them graded, obviously, to get the grades in. So the sooner the better. If you are all set with that and you want to improve your grade, we have some opportunities for extra credit. I'll explain those in a minute. Before I do that, I just wanted to show you this feedback form that I'm hoping if you get a chance sometime between now and next Monday, you'll have a chance to fill out. It's a way for me to get some of your thoughts on how the year went, how maybe I could do this class differently next year, what you liked about it, what you didn't, changes you would make, things that I did well or things I could have done better. Really, any thoughts you have would be extremely helpful in letting me know how I can be a better teacher and how I can improve what I'm doing for next year. So also on that form, so you can fill that out anytime. I'm going to post it in Classroom. I'll also email it to you. It's completely anonymous, so just please be honest. Also on there, you see at the top, there's a couple questions. What class did you have English this year? So what period? And when would be a good time to have just a going away, have a good summer, goodbye, Google Meet? I'm hoping to do those on Monday next week, so June 15th. What's a good time for you to meet? It's going to be optional, but I really, really hope you guys will come. Haven't seen you, obviously, in a while. Some of you I haven't even heard from in a while. So before we get out of here, before we go our separate ways, I'm hoping that we can just kind of meet on Google Meets one time just to say goodbye, good luck, all that. So click any times that would work for you. I'll try to set them up so that each class has the best opportunity for more than a few people to be there. Encourage your classmates to come. It could be fun. Hopefully it's fun. And that's on there as well. So after that, you can see it's just a lot of agree, disagree, strongly agree type of survey questions. Shouldn't take you more than, I don't think, 5 or 7 minutes. So here's the deal with the extra credit. We have the opportunity to either correct or reflect. So the first thing you can do is correct, which is basically just make up the missing assignments that you are missing. Look in Aspen. If it says MI, it's missing. I don't have it. That's your cue. The MIs become permanent zeros on June 13th when grades close. So if you want to take care of those, it's a good idea. Before you do any extra credit, you got to get that all situated. So, and you got to have your Raisin 2020 paper turned in. If your paper's turned in, you can submit up to 3 extra credit assignments. You can submit more than one assignment from the 2 categories, so you can do some makeup work and you can also do some reflections, which I'll talk about in a second. Just make sure when you submit an assignment that you are doing for extra credit, you tell me whether you want it to be towards your product grade or your process grade. Your product grade, we only had a couple in the 3rd trimester. One was the Common Assessment 3. One was the Raisin 2020 paper. If you want a point or 2 towards those assignments, and remember, if your honors, 80% of your grade is product. If your ACP, 70% of your grade is product. So if you want it to be a product grade and a point or 2 towards either of those assignments, let me know. Or it can be a process grade, which means you'll receive 10 points towards that. So if you're missing a check-in and you do one of these extra credit assignments, the extra credit will basically replace that check-in that you missed, because those were worth about 10 points as well. Okay, and again, I will take any late or missing work until June 12th. So you've got a few days to get this done. When you are making up work, if you're missing any assignments that you're completing, please make sure that you go to those assignments through Google Classroom. Throughout our remote learning, I've been emailing you links every day. And when we've been using Google Forms, you can get to the Google Forms straight from that link that's in your email typically. But for this, you need to go through Classroom, because Classroom, when you do it, will tell me you've done it. If you don't do it through Classroom, I'm not going to get that email most likely, and I may not realize that it's been turned in. So please, if you're making up work, again, go through Google Classroom, find the assignment there, and use that. Alright, so here's the reflection options for the extra credit. First option, write a reflection for your freshman English class. So when you're a senior, you're going to present your portfolio. As part of that portfolio, you're going to have to include some academic reflections. I usually have my students write an academic reflection every year, just so that when it comes to senior year, you've got multiple to choose from. If you want to do that now and get some credit for it, great. That's your first option. There's an organizer to get you started that's linked here, and there's also some samples of reflections that students have written in the past. It's just 3 paragraphs, really kind of quick about the class or an assignment or something that you felt like you grew from in the process of English this year. So that is one option. Option 2, share your thoughts on what's happening in the country right now. So these last 3 months have been something like most of us have never experienced before, from the pandemic to what we're going through now with racial tensions and protests and police brutality and a lot of different things. Sometimes I find it helps me to write about things when I'm having trouble making sense of what's going on. This is my chance, or my way of giving you the chance to do that. If you want to reflect on it and write about what you're experiencing or what the country's going through right now, you can do that. I'll give you extra credit for it. So there's a form or an assignment in Classroom called Reflection on Society. You can open that. There's a doc set up for you, and you can submit that. Again, just looking for honesty, reflection, and your thoughts. Option 3, kind of along the same line. I had a friend who I grew up with. She now lives in Maryland, and she sent an article about Boston and its sort of racist reputation and the idea of white privilege that fuels some of that reputation and some of that behavior historically. It's written by a brother and sister from Woburn, so they're local. They've experienced this. They kind of know what they're talking about. So this option is to read that article and just react to it. Again, be honest. Try and be thoughtful. Have you considered ideas like this before? Do you agree or disagree with their assessment as another person who's grown up or lived in this area? Just curious to see what you guys, how you would react to that. So again, it's in Classroom. It's called Read and React. You'll just read it and react to it. When you're done with that, leave a comment somewhere on that document or in Classroom that just tells me whether you want it to count as a product or a process grade. Option 4, another reflection, this one on your remote learning experience. So find the assignment titled Reflection on Remote Learning, and then just reflect on the experience. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. Was it beneficial in any way? Did you find that you learned some things about yourself? What are you going to take away from it? Things like that. Sort of those same questions that we've been asking ourselves all along. You know, what were your goals when you started? Was it harder or more difficult? What are you going to do differently if we wind up remote again next year? All that stuff. And the 5th option. So a few of the CTE areas around campus have been nice enough to share with me some of the products that their students have been creating as part of their school. Um, there's a podcast, there's some videos, there's some slideshows. For this option, go to a folder that's linked there, choose one, so choose a product or a project, check it out, read it, listen to it, watch it, try and just consume it in some way. And then I want you to give some feedback to the student who created it. Remember, these are your peers. These are students. They might even be in your same shop, or they're in another shop somewhere around campus. They've been working on this. They've been working hard. I want you to give them some positive feedback. So what did you like about it? What did you think was good? What did you learn? That sort of thing. There's a Google form there where you can do that. And when you give that feedback, I'll pass it along to their shop teacher, and hopefully it'll get to the person who created it. So those are the options. Again, that's extra credit. If you want to do it, you can. You can use the extra credit to make up assignments that you're missing. You can use the extra credit to make your grade better. You can do some of this just to sort of enrich your academic experience, or like I said, to try and help yourself make sense of what's going on in this crazy, crazy world we live in. Okay? So all that stuff will be in Classroom. As always, let me know if you have any questions. I hope you can join us on Monday for one final Google Meet. Other than that, I'll see you online, and hopefully I'll see you around school next year.